This is JTR, back for another video. Today we have another Godzilla x Kong the New Empire figure. This is the one that is Godzilla pre-evolved with heat ray. Let's start out by taking a look at the box. Here's the front of the box. Pretty generic when it comes to the Godzilla x Kong figures. You got that cool crystal stuff. You got the two main kaijus at the moment, Godzilla and Kong, of course. Side of the box has the same two as the front. And then on the other side, it shows you its name, of course. Now, let's move on to the back of the box. Looks great. Figure looks awesome there. In this back of the box image, his dorsal plates almost look transparent, which I would have preferred maybe if they would have continued on the tail. But I actually do think it looks really great on the actual figure, so I'll get to that in a minute. If you guys want to pause the video and read any of this stuff, feel free to. So here's the rest in the assortment. Godzilla evolved. It's basically the same figure, but just the evolved form with the new sculpt. And I guess it's not the same figure, but you get what I'm saying. Kong with Beast Glove, which I have previously reviewed, if you guys want to go and look at that video. Sugo with the Titanus Doug. At the time of recording this video, he hasn't been found at Walmart yet. It's the only one of this assortment, at least for Wave 1. That hasn't been found. He has been found at Target, and I think there was like a picture overseas of him. So yeah, hopefully I can find him soon. There's Scar King, which I have reviewed him as well. And here is Shimu with Frostbite. Can't wait to review that one, just lacking paint in my opinion. So for these figures, they retail at Walmart for $9.97, and I think at Target for $9.99 USD. So if you guys want to pick one up, I suggest going over there because especially right now when these figures are just releasing, if you missed the initial release date, like the initial release date was the 1st, but if you didn't go there before then, they're probably going to be all gone. Hopefully later in the month we'll get Reboot and we'll get more figures. So here is the Godzilla figure. Okay, so this is basically a very similar version to the Godzilla versus Kong figures. Has a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences. So let's get to that. Let's start with articulation. Start up at the head. He has jaw articulation, arm articulation, very smooth. I like that. It's not sticky at all. We got leg articulation, and then like another joint right here. And tail articulation, which I actually think it's great on the tail. I don't think they were that good on previous Godzilla figures. So it's great when it comes to articulation, so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, for the price, it's awesome. Now let's move on to the sculpt. So it looks to be, they have the same torso sculpt and the same head sculpt as the Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla figure, like the city tower destroyer one and the city light, and the heat ray version. It's about all the same. The arms are the same, but the legs and tail are different, which I actually think is a very nice addition. I think it looks a lot more smooth. I'm really surprised they were able to do that with scrapping old parts and then putting new parts on. It looks awesome. So let's go and to the paint. The head, it has that same weird looking eye, which I actually really like this eye now, because if you've seen the more recent one, you're not gonna like the eye. The eye is actually terrible on the newest variation of this figure. Let's get a closer look at that eyeball. Bring in the frog. See if I can get the camera to focus. It's not bad. It's not great either. Just, I wish it would be a little bit smaller, make it more movie accurate, but it's not bad at all. So now for paint, the teeth just have like a white coat, and then the inside of the mouth has some pink. That's not bad. Not great either, really, but I would have liked these few spikes in the front to be painted, but I don't mind that they're not. I think I know this is supposed to be a charged up Godzilla, but for a non-translucent Godzilla from Playmates, I think this has to be the best one they've done for the dorsal plates when it comes to paint. I mean, it looks great. This like black that they dry brushed over it makes it look a lot more realistic. And that paint goes down to the end of almost the end of the tail, which is awesome. So it feels fully painted. Even all the nails are painted. Mattel never can do that when it comes to their dinosaur figures, so I'm glad that Playmates, that's the brand name, is doing that. Even the claws, it's very hard to see on camera. I may have to bring the frog back in for this, but let's see. Yeah, you can see a little bit of paint right there. So keeping the old school sculpts from, not really old school, but the Godzilla vs. Kong thing going, since they used the same torso sculpt, sorry about the blurriness right there, as the old one, they were able to keep the battle damage, which I really like. They didn't just cover it up and make it like kind of useless, so that's great that they did that. I know it's a really unrealistic like death scar basically, but still, it's awesome that they included that. That's one accessory, and then the other accessory it comes with is a brand new heat ray, which, okay, I'm not sure. I have mixed feelings about this heat ray. I think it looks pretty great. I think it's definitely better than the previous one, but it looks a little bit too much like, I don't know, like almost like lava. If it was in an orange color, you guys would probably be able to understand. It looks very thick and not as sharp as it should be, but still I think it definitely surpasses the Godzilla vs. Kong figures. It's a great accessory. So the only Godzilla vs. Kong figure I currently have for Godzilla as a comparison is the Godzilla one that came in the Target exclusive Final Battle set. So if we compare these, I guess we'll just do it like this. First of all, you can definitely see that the legs have a different sculpt on them. I'm not sure, I don't even think this moved on the previous one. Yeah, this joint didn't move to where the new one has extra articulation. The nails aren't painted on the old one. Obviously, it does have the same body sculpt and same head sculpt and arms, I'm pretty sure. Maybe that's a new arm sculpt. Maybe I am wrong about that, but I don't think I am. Maybe it's a slightly different sculpt. It's hard to tell. But there is a lot of differences. I do think the heat ray looks a lot better on the new one. It looks way too light of a blue on the old one. It just feels more right. I actually do prefer the non-translucent spikes on the new one. I just think they look a little higher quality. They should have gone for a darker blue on the old one. And I do like the new tail sculpt. The tail sculpt on the new one just feels a lot more dominant, has a lot more detail put into it. It's great. So there's a little comparison for you guys right there, size comparison compared to the old one. Basically the same, just a few steps in the right direction, improvements. So now let's move on to the views. I think I forgot to do the views and the Scar King review, so sorry about that, guys. But here's view 1. It's hard to fit his big tail. View 2. View 3. View 4. Okay, now, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering this. 1 through 10, what do I rate this figure? Okay, it has a very good price, $9.97. They didn't up it despite all the inflation, so that's great. Paint, even the old one that you can get in a 1-pack for Godzilla vs. Kong, I still think the paint is dominant on this one. All the nails are painted, the eyes are decent, the tail has paint on it, great. So I think overall, sculpt included, we got some new upgrades to articulation. Everything about this figure is an upgrade in my opinion. So I give it like a 9.8. The only things I think they could improve on for this figure is maybe a slight tone of paint on the underbelly or some better eyes. I mean, maybe the teeth could look a little better, but still, there's like not much more they can do to make a great Godzilla figure for the price of $9.97. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Jurassic Tree Official for more repaints, some photos of these figures probably, all kinds of stuff there. So please follow me on Instagram. Thank you again for watching. See you later.